Hello everybody, this is the first episode, and I guess we'll kick things off with sort of a video game. We'll be talking about Supreme Commander. Well, I will be. There's no one else here. I'm so alone. Lonely. Continuing on. Well, Supreme Commander. Anyone who hasn't heard of it, it is first and foremost an RTS. It's alright. I mean, it's not groundbreaking. But to begin with, there's three factions. We've got the Aeon, the Cybran, and the UEF, United Earth Defense. And, yeah, it seems they've all been fighting each other over 1,000 years. Why 1,000 years, even though that's a really long time? Because from what I've noticed, that every unit seems to be, like, controlled by an AI or something. Like, there's no human being inside of it. The tank runs on its own. It's like Skynet all over again. But anyway, they've been fighting for 1,000 years, and the person, you start off as a commander for each one, so, you know, that's always fun. I guess the commander commands all the units, therefore, you know, it doesn't require a human being anymore. But what's interesting is that it covers all three fronts, both land, sea, and air. And there's different tech trees, which means that at one level of tech tree you've got this unit. Second tech tree, there's probably an upgrade of that unit, and maybe there's also experimental units which take a huge amount of resources. I'll talk about resources later, and take a very long time to make, but they are amazing. They can kick a lot of butt or deal damage to you, which really sucks. But resources, the resources aren't micromanaging. They go down to pretty much two different resources: energy and mass. Mass usually just comes from just the mass you mine from, and mass extractors, and mass converters. And energy, you just build generators. And when you first start off, like for each nation, you start off, you'll start off with a regular power generator. But as you go through the tech trees, you will get bigger generators that produce more energy to bigger and better stuff. And you have one commander, you're the commander, and if the commander dies, pretty much, you lose the game. Or the level. But what's interesting is that it all focuses around this one thing called Black Sun. Black Sun is this item, or just device. UEF want to use it to destroy the homeworlds of the other two. Aeon want to use it to communicate to everyone and bring the inner peace, or so on and so forth. And the Cybran want to cut off the gateways that help space transportation, which makes it so, you know, the Cybrans can be free for around 5 years. Now, 5 years isn't a long time, and it's not until the pretty much the sequel comes out to it, or I don't know. Yeah, where you find out that the Seraphim, who the Aeon knew, were actually very violent. That's not fun. But let's talk about the good things about it. You can command humongous amount of armies. Like, you can micromanage, just create like 3 land factories. They're pretty much called factories, and you set them to one unit, and they'll keep producing that unit. And you could have up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 if you just have that amount of time of army of whatever tactic, and just attack your unit. I mean, this is full-scale war, and it's really cool. The missions are kind of bland for each one. I mean, there might be like a time set. You have to get there at a certain time, defend a city, or kill a commander, which is what you usually do. It's like every level you have to kill a commander. But, yeah, the missions can get pretty bland. The ideas for each tech tree and unit is very interesting. And I also hear Supreme Commander 2 is coming out, which is very cool. But yeah, but I have to say that the land, air, and sea units can get very limited. It pretty much goes down to amassing just one type of unit and just bum rushing them entirely. I mean, there's barely any skill to it, but there are different difficulties you can get onto it. There are differences between each nation. The UEF, their units are more symmetrical, more squares. They're blue. The Cybran are kind of guerrilla warfighters, so their units look more scrapped together, more jagged. Their color's mainly red. Now the Aeon are really interesting. It looks like their soldiers, their units, their whatevers are made of plastic. They're really shiny and round, and there's not a jagged edge on them, and they're not square. They're like round, perfectly round. And basically each one has their own shape, and it's pretty interesting. But I have to say though, the AI could be better, because the AI is either really stupid or just beats the living crap out of you. Like, I was on the last level for the Aeon, and you had to capture the Aeon, the Black Sun Command Center, and then you have to deal with Cyberns. Now, for some reason, I couldn't prepare my defenses fast enough, and this experimental unit from the Cybern called the Monkey Lord, it's a giant freaking spider with a laser attached to it, pretty much blew my ass away, and I lost. Along with other units. I could not transfer units fast enough, I couldn't build an experimental unit fast enough, and I had to control the Black Sun Command Center or I'd lose. Now, when I played the Cyber Nation, and I played that, I didn't have that because, well, the AI was just stupid, because it was UEF and the Aeon Illuminate, and I guess Cybern rocks and Aeon suck. UEF sucks too. But, yeah, I had to give this game about maybe an 8. It could be better, and they're probably going to fix that in Supreme Commander 2. I've seen the demo for it. It looks pretty amazing. Except for the fire-breathing dragon for the Cybern. That makes no sense. But anyway, it's pretty interesting. I haven't gotten the sequel to it yet. The add-on, whatever. But I'll probably get it when I have enough money. And alright, this is going to be a close-up, so I want to ask you guys, how do you feel about Supreme Commander? Have you played it? How do you feel about it? Leave in the comments. I'd love to hear you. And in fact, create a video response if you want. I'd love to hear from you people. But no trolls.